I worked with a woman one time who had a very particular desire, very specific. Whenever she heard a man, an English man with a specific English accent, very particular English accent, I can't remember from what area of England, but very specific, when he said this particular word even, she would go into waves of orgasm. I was quite startled by this. It was surprised me that someone could actually do that. So what do you think this word was? The word was strawberry. Strawberry. And I just so happened to meet her initially when I was with a man who had this particular accent. So I witnessed it firsthand. Desire is not a logical thing. It's not a logical experience or feeling. It is something that is in our bodies, in our being, something that we experience, that we feel. We can't normally really explain it. It's just that we feel that this is what is exciting for us, or gets us turned on, or gets us excited and tingly all over. So this is the case where I know many people have this desire to have a threesome, for example. They are so excited by it, so turned on by the idea of a threesome. And they think about it and they listen to stories about it. But they are completely stuck in being able to move forward into actually having one. I met this man one time when I was giving a lecture at Berkeley in California. It was during a conference on monogamy and non-monogamy. And after the lecture, he came up to me and he was kind of shy and almost quiet. And he came up to me and almost kind of whispered to me, I really want to thank you. I have been so scared to talk about wanting to have a threesome. I can't even say it out loud to myself. This is the first time I've ever said it out loud. So at that point I realized, wow, like the desires that we have are really kept deep, deep, deep inside of us, held deep inside of us, and something that we have so much fear of expressing. So the truth is that, having a threesome, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not pervert, you're not weird, you're not strange. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do something more exploratory with your partner, with your wife, as a coupledom. There is nothing wrong with it, and there's nothing wrong with you. You are human. It's a human thing to have desires. And it, as I mentioned, it's not necessarily controllable. It comes from deep within. So when you're feeling these desires and you hold them in and you refuse to let them go because there's a lot of fear that sits within you, you're actually cutting off that connection that you could potentially have with your partner. That connection that could run deeper, that could open up other doors. You are literally keeping the door shut. And you know what it's like when you're in a room and the doors are all closed and you're locked in. Well, imagine what it's like if you're in a room and all the doors are locked and you can't get out of that room. That's kind of like what the desire is. It's sitting in there, it wants to come out, but it just won't move. Now, I know there's other feelings that you have about why you keep yourself in that locked room. That feeling that you're being too greedy about what you really want to have, what you really want to experience. You feel that maybe you're going to be rejected, and maybe you have been rejected a number of times from your partner, and you just don't want to do it again. You also might be feeling like there is something wrong with you, that you don't feel satisfied, and that you can't just be satisfied with the way things are right now and with the kind of relationship that you have with your partner. And I know another big fear that comes up is, what's my partner going to say if I actually tell her this? She may leave me. She may run away. She may not ever want to speak to me again. All of these fears are real, and I understand that. So how do you allow yourself to go through that door, to even open the door even a crack? The problem has been the way that you've been leading the energy. Okay, the energy is sitting there closed in a locked room with all this fear that's sitting within you. When you become an embodied man, you become a confident man, a grounded being, then you lead in a very different way. You lead with direction. You lead with sexual leaderships. And that makes a whole difference in you and in your relationship. And then you can take out the strawberries. Maybe there's 3 of them. Maybe there's 2 and you want a third. You take them out and you say, they're just strawberries. It's okay. I have the power. I have the confidence. I will take the step. And no matter what happens, I can do it. I am able to move forward in this. When you show up embodied and you show up with leadership and you show up with your confidence, when you're ready to reveal your desire, when you're ready to open that door and say, hey, this is what's going on, she's going to feel like this is a safe place for her to bring up her own vulnerabilities and her own fears. She's going to be in trust with you because she sees that you feel good in yourself. You feel confident in what you're saying. But if you keep that hidden, if you keep it hidden and you stay in that closed room, these strawberries are going to start to go bad and go rotten, and the disconnection within your intimate and sexual life becomes farther and farther away. If you open the door and reveal something that could transform your relationship when the strawberries are still so ripe. If you're together for a long period of time, things change, you change, she is changing as well. You might not know how quite yet, but she is changing, and because you are definitely changing. So when you can let yourself take the initiative and take the steps to open up, to be vulnerable, to be curious about her, you can find all sorts of interesting things that start to happen and shift. And I guarantee you that the way that you present it to her in this masculine, confident, embodied sexual leadership kind of way, she's going to respond very different than you can even possibly imagine. I just had a client recently who has gone through my program who had not talked to his wife about what is going on for him, what he was doing, what he was feeling, the new desires that he had, the feelings that were coming up, his feelings of rejection from her, his desire to just have some deep connection with her, more love, more sex, more intimacy, but the inability to be able to relate it to her. He came through my program and he has been able to talk to her. He's been able to open that door and step through it with confidence and have a conversation with her. And it was mind-blowing for him. It was nothing like he ever expected it to be. She could feel his energy. She could feel his masculine confidence. She could feel that he was very serious about what he was saying, and the way that he approached it made her feel safe and to reveal what was going on for her. So that's what I do. I help men move through this place of hesitation and fear and constriction to a place of feeling confident and open and ready to make a change in their lives. So if you are listening to this and you can relate to what I'm saying, and you have a little strawberry there, and you would like to bring in a few more strawberries into your little mix, then you can start by taking this quiz that I offer. It's in the description below. It helps you discover what kind of masculine energy that you are leading from, so that you can kind of get a feel for what's going on. And then I will take you on a little journey on how you can open that door, go through it in order to do exactly what it is that you really want to do. So take the quiz today. It's right there in the description below. This will help you understand a lot more about yourself, and it will give you this opportunity to take a step forward into the possibility of maybe having some conversation about a threesome, or maybe even getting to that possibility of having a threesome. This is an invitation for you. Link in the description below. Hope to see you there soon. Much love making.